Hi, welcome to EarthsLivingClay.com's YouTube channel. So today I wanted to talk to you about how to pick plants at the nursery that you're going to put in your garden. And this would be true for edible plants, like I usually plant, or for ornamentals. I went to a small nursery yesterday and picked up some starts for my garden. And when I got home, I thought, gee, that might be kind of interesting for some people. So this is a spaghetti squash, and parts of it you can see look kind of sketchy. There's a dead leaf here. There's a couple dead leaves down at the bottom, but that doesn't worry me because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pinch those dead leaves off with my fingers, or of course if you have a clippers. We're just going to take the dead stuff off, because what happens is when you leave dead or dying leaves on the plant is going to continue to try to help those leaves, and you really don't want the plant focusing energy on kind of a lost cause. So that didn't bother me so much. The other thing I liked about this plant is that there's lots of new growth. There's new growth on both of the main stalks on this. So that's another thing to look for, is growth. The other thing is the pot should be moist. You know, typically plants get watered at the nursery every morning. Somebody was there watering them. So you want to make sure the pot is moist. You also want to look for any kind of weeds in the soil. I wouldn't necessarily not buy a plant for that reason, because if they end up in your bed, then you can just pull them out. The other thing is to turn the plant over. Look at the bottom of the pot. You don't want any roots growing out of the pot, because that means it's been in the pot for a long time and it's already started to get root bound. So if you can, don't get pots that have roots coming out of the bottom. Otherwise, this looks pretty healthy. There is a little yellowing and some spots on this leaf, so I'll keep a close eye on this. Same thing with this leaf, but again, there's lots of good growth. And I've grown other varieties of squash here before and had good luck with it. One of the other plants I got is called I never heard of this, it's called a Hawaiian poha berry. And of course, in Hawaii, it's a more tropical environment than here in San Diego, but it's pretty close. There was a little dead leaf. I'm not going to get excited about that, but again, there's lots of good growth, and I can even see flowers starting, which is a good sign, because the fruit on this, I learned, comes in a calyx. It comes in a little shell. Same thing, there's no roots on the bottom, the soil was moist, there's no weeds. Now, one thing is, you would assume that nurseries wouldn't sell plants that don't grow in the area where the nursery is. I don't know if that's true or not, because I have a plant on my patio that I do not think grows well in the San Diego environment, but I see it in lots of people's yards, and theirs are also not doing that great. But I bought that plant at Home Depot, so I think with the big box stores, that's more of a concern, that they would be selling plants that are not necessarily going to do well in that area. This, again, was bought at a small nursery. They only have 2 nurseries in all of San Diego County, so I think they're probably a little more tuned into what grows in this area and what doesn't. So I'll put that in the bed and see how it does. And then the third plant I bought is a New Zealand yam, and I couldn't find anything in the book at the nursery, but this plant looked okay. There's some green on it. There is some stuff that looks a little sketchy. I'll probably take those leaves off when I put it in the ground, because again, I don't want the plant trying to focus attention and energy on things that are not going to do well. The other thing I liked about this plant is that there's a second little start right in the pot, so I liked that about it. The soil was moist, there's no roots growing out of the bottom, and I do kind of do the impulse thing with plants, but that's all for the good. So in any event, I hope this was helpful to you, and I hope that helps you pick out plants at the nursery. Thanks for watching, and check back for more videos.